everybody. We have about 5 minutes before we start, so you can grab a comfortable seated position. We are going to need a strap today, so if you have a long rope or belt that you can use if you don't have a yoga strap, and we will need that for today's class. We're going to be working, most of today's class will be down on the mat. We're not going to be doing a lot of standing up, if any. We have about 5 minutes before we start, and today's class is going to work on hips and a lot of spinal twist and just loosening our backs up, opening our hips, and just having a very gentle class with lots of deep breathing. So we have about 5 minutes before we start, or 4 minutes. And the only thing you'll need today is the strap if you have one. If you don't have one, you can get by without it, but it will be beneficial for what we're doing today. So just grab a comfortable seated position. Take some nice deep breaths. I'm hoping this video comes through clearly. Our internet cable's on the fritz, and when it rains, it gives us intermittent service, and they plan on replacing it in May here, so hopefully we'll have that resolved by the end of the month. So as you're getting ready for class, you want to have a nice straight spine and make sure you're pulling the shoulders back. Remembering our lungs are three-dimensional, so we want to make sure we leave room for the lungs to expand left to right, front to back, and top to bottom. So we're trying to keep that spine straight, shoulders back, crown of the head up towards the sky, and just taking some nice deep breaths. If you're just joining us, we're going to need a yoga strap today, or any kind of long belt or rope. And most of today's class will be down on our mat, either seated or laying or hands and knees. So just take some nice deep breaths. Start to clear your mind. If you're watching live with us and you do have any problems with the audio or video, please let me know. Our internet cable doesn't do well when it's raining, and they're replacing it this week, or this month, so hopefully we get that resolved. On my end it's coming across fine, but sometimes it doesn't on your end. Just let me know. So we have a few minutes before we start. You can just start to prepare yourself. Nice tall back, shoulders back, and just start focusing on your breath, forgetting about everything else going on in our life. And sometimes that can be difficult, but yoga is a great tool for helping us do that. It's just carving out that little section of our day where we can focus on ourselves. And it's not being selfish focusing on yourself, even if you have a lot going on in your world. It's not being selfish if it's not to the detriment of others. It's helping you get through your day and deal with the issues you're dealing with. By giving yourself time to reflect, focus on yourself and your happiness. And I think that's really important when we practice yoga, is to remember that. It's 1 hour out of 24 that we're just saying, I need to love myself for a little bit. And then when I do that, I have more of an ability to help others and love others in my life that might be going through a lot. It's a great way of grounding yourself and bringing you back to your center. The other day, I thought came to my mind, and it really hit home with me. I said, practicing yoga is like eating an artichoke. And I know that's kind of a crazy analogy, but I think as we go through life, so many things happen to us, and our body's way of protecting us is by putting layers to shield ourselves or to cover ourselves in a hard exterior so we don't get hurt or we're not vulnerable. And it's much like an artichoke. You're pulling back all those prickly, hard leaves as you're trying to get through there. And at the end, once we pull all those leaves off, you have this beautiful artichoke heart in there. And it's the same thing with humans. When we pull back all those hard exterior layers and the things that hurt us or made us vulnerable or emotionally affected us. When we can start dealing with them in a great way, a positive way through yoga, we end up coming back to our essence, which is our heart. And yoga allows us to express that. And hopefully today's class will build on that thought. So we can just take a few deep breaths. And when you're ready, you can bring your hands to heart center, thumbs on sternum, and a light bow to your head. Just take a moment to give yourself some gratitude for coming to your mat. And acknowledge that your happiness and bliss and personal well-being are worth you taking the time here. It's about knowing that you matter and you're important, and people in your life count on you and rely on you, and part of them being able to do that is making sure that you take care of yourself so that you're there for them when you need to be. And when you're ready, you can rub your hands together and build up some friction in your palms. When your palms get nice and warm, you can transfer that heat to your face or your chest, whichever you feel more comfortable with. I know for the last year we've been doing our chest because with COVID we were told not to touch our face, but either one's fine. And when you're done, you can just blink your eyes open, nice straight spine, and make sure you pull those shoulders back. With an exhale, we're just going to lower our chin to chest and let our head hang there for a few breaths. Once again, focusing deeply on your breaths. Going back to that yogic breathing where the belly's extending on the inhale, chest is filling side to side. With your next inhale, long, slow exhale, bring your gaze up towards the sky, making sure not to pinch your neck in the back. And then exhale, bring your chin back to your chest. Now when you're ready with an inhale, we're just going to roll our left ear towards our left shoulder. Exhale, bring your chin back to chest. Inhale, right ear, right shoulder. Exhale, chin to chest. And go through one more time. Inhaling, left ear, left shoulder. Exhale, chin to chest. Inhale, right ear, right shoulder. Exhale, chin to chest. And just stay there with your chin by your chest for a few breaths. Really relaxing the neck where it comes down to the shoulders. And with your next inhale, we're going to roll all the way around to the left 2 times. No pressure on the neck, so there should be no sharp pain. And then 2 times the other way. And when we're done all those rotations, we'll come back with our chin to chest. When you're ready, you can inhale, bring the crown of your head up towards the sky, nice straight spine. And we're going to start with a seated twist. We're going to work on the spine for a little bit here. So with an inhale, bring both arms way up overhead. And with the exhale, place your left hand on right knee, right hand behind back. And you want to make sure your fingertips on that right hand are moving away from your body, not towards it, because we want to open that shoulder. No pressure on the neck here, but we're looking over that right shoulder, or towards that right shoulder. With your next inhale, bring both arms way up overhead. And exhale, right hand, left knee, left hand behind back. Once again, those fingers are moving on the left hand, are going away from your body. And there's no pressure on your neck here. And this first one might be a little tighter because we haven't done any other movement yet. So with an inhale, bring both arms way up overhead. And we're going to exhale, forward fold. Trying to bring your chest down towards the ground. You can bring your arms to rest on the ground. And just relax the hips. Keep the spine nice and straight. And just stay here for a few breaths. When you're ready with your next inhale, bring both arms way up overhead. And exhale, release your arms down by your sides. Now we're going to put the hands on the knees, and we'll just make some big circles with our lower spine. Going as wide as we can with the circle. Change directions. And you can come to stillness, up nice and tall, and we're going to do a seated cat-cow here. So keep your hands on your knees, and just like the hands and knees cat-cow, with an inhale, we're going to bring our chest forward, our gaze up, and rock your pelvis back. With an exhale, chin to chest, arch the back and roll the pelvis forward. And just do these at your own pace, matching your breath to your movement. Bringing gentle movement to the neck, spine, shoulders, and pelvis. After your next cat, you can come to a nice neutral spine. Crown of the head up towards the sky. And we're going to inhale, bring both arms way up overhead. And we're going to interlock our fingers, the pointer finger's up and thumb is back. And we're just going to make some circles with our spine, with the area right below our shoulder blades, so that kind of mid-back to mid-upper back. Those vertebrae don't normally move this way, so it's a great way to bring some movement to that area. Change directions. And you can come to stillness. We're going to reach the arms up for the sky, and we're going to elongate our left side. So how we're going to do that is with an exhale, bring your right hand down to the mat and lean over, keeping the shoulders flat against an imaginary wall and keeping that left glute on the mat. The other thing you want to do here is keep that right shoulder away from your right ear so you can bend that right elbow. Inhale, both arms up overhead, and we're going to do the other side. Exhale, lower that left arm down, right arm over. Keeping the shoulders flat against an imaginary wall and bending that left elbow to keep that left shoulder away from your ear. With an inhale, bring both arms up overhead. And we're going to exhale, forward fold again. So bringing that chest towards the ground, nice straight spine. Relaxing any tension in the hips or lower back and not forcing it. Just let your body stop where you stop. With your next inhale, bring both arms all the way up overhead. And exhale, release your arms. And we're going to do one more seated twist after we've warmed our back up to see how this one feels compared to the first one. So with an inhale, bring both arms way up overhead. And with an exhale, left hand comes to right knee, right hand behind back, twisting from the ribs. Breathing deeply. With an inhale, we're going to bring both arms up overhead. And exhale, right hand, left knee, left hand behind back, twisting from the ribs. Inhale, both arms up overhead. And exhale, forward fold. Nice deep breaths here. With an inhale, bring both arms up overhead. And exhale, release your arms down by your sides. And we're going to come to a laying position now on our back. And you want to have your strap handy because we will be using it soon. So just lay flat on your mat. With an inhale, we're going to pull our knees to chest and just gently rock side to side. Massaging your lower back. And when you're pulling your knees to chest, you want to make sure you don't go so far that you pull your tailbone up off the mat. We want to keep that in contact with the mat and your lower back. You can come to stillness. And we're just going to make some big circles with our knees, going in the same direction. Change directions. You can come to stillness. And now we're going to keep our feet attached and we're going to make circles with our knees in opposite directions so the knees come apart and then back together again. Then you can change directions. You can come to stillness. And with an inhale, we're going to send both feet up to the sky. And maybe point and flex your toes. Make some circles with the ankles. Change directions. And with an exhale, bend the knees and place your left leg, extend your left leg, and we're going to need our strap now. So the right leg's still bent. And we're going to take our strap and put it around the ball of the right foot. And then send that right foot up to the sky. And just use the strap to help pull that leg towards your head. It helps if you wrap your hands around the strap so that you're not squeezing to hold it there. And just stretch that. You'll feel a little bit in the hamstring or calf maybe even your glute. Nice deep breaths here. We're going to transfer the strap to our right hand. So both ends of the strap go in the right hand and give it a little wrap around. And when you're ready with an exhale, let that right leg fall off to the right. And you might get it all the way down to the ground or not. Mine's not there. Wherever you stop, and just use that strap to help support the weight of the leg. You might feel that in the inner thigh or groin or hip area. And while you're here, focus on your breath. Nice deep breaths. The slower and deeper we breathe, the more calm we feel. With an inhale, bring that right leg back up to the sky. And we're going to switch hands. So put both straps in the left hand and tee your right arm out to the side. And with an exhale, roll onto your left hip, keeping that right shoulder firmly on the mat. And just breathing. You can look over the right shoulder to help with the twist. And you might feel that on the outside edge of that right leg or right glute. And just make sure your right shoulder doesn't come up off the mat. With an inhale, come back up to center. Now we're going to lift our left leg and put it inside that strap. Release the right leg and lower the right leg down to the mat. And then once again, put both hands on the ends of the strap. Make sure that it's on the ball of the left foot. And just give a nice pull, bringing that left leg towards your chest or head. And wherever you stop is fine. Nice deep breaths here. When you're ready, you're going to place both straps in the left hand. Tee that right arm out to the side and exhale. Lower that left leg off to the left, making sure your right glute and right shoulder stay down. And wherever that foot stops, it stops. Nice deep breaths here. When you're ready with an inhale, bring that left foot back up to sky. We're going to switch the straps into your right hand. Tee your left arm out to the side. And with an exhale, roll onto your right hip, keeping that left shoulder down on the mat and looking over that left shoulder. Nice deep breaths. Inhale, bring that left leg back up to sky. can bend that left knee and take the strap off the left foot and just extend that left leg out along to meet the right. With an inhale, we're just going to pull our right knee to chest again. Give a real tight squeeze. And we're going to do a one-legged happy baby here. So if you can grab that right foot in your right hand, you can always grab the right calf or ankle. Send the sole of your foot up to the sky with a big bend in that right knee. With an inhale, send that right leg straight up to sky. And exhale, lower that right leg down to meet the left. Now with an inhale, we're going to pull that left knee to chest. Give it a real tight squeeze. And then one-legged happy baby on this side. Big bend in that left knee. Nice deep breaths. With an inhale, we're going to send that left leg straight up to sky. And exhale, lower that leg down to meet the right. And just take a few breaths here. Take a quick Shavasana. Your legs are mat width apart. Toes are going off to the outside edge of your mat. Arms are down by your sides. Palms up or palms down. And just take some deep breaths here. Back to your body, and with an inhale, we're going to pull both knees to chest. Gently rock side to side. Tee your arms out to the side. Keep the knees on your chest. And then with an exhale, just roll onto your left hip, keeping that right shoulder down and looking over the right shoulder. Just breathe deeply, enjoying this twist. With an inhale, bring your knees back up to your chest. And exhale, roll onto that right hip, keeping that left shoulder down and looking over the left shoulder. Inhale, come onto your back. Squeeze those knees to chest one more time. And then with an exhale, lower your feet down to the mat. Make your feet a little wider than your hips. And we're going to do bridge pose here. So have your feet a little wider than your hips, but as close to your hips as you can get them, and your knees going in just a little. Your arms are down by your side, palms down. And when you're ready with an inhale, lift your hips up towards the ceiling. And we're going to try to roll our shoulders under. So lift your right shoulder up just a little bit and roll it back so that the shoulder blade is going more towards the center of your mat. And now lift the left up and roll it back. So your shoulder blades should be coming closer together. Now see if you can push the hips a little higher. Make sure the knees are still going inward. With an exhale, lower down. And we're going to do reclined bound angel. So turn the soles of your feet so they're touching and your legs are butterflied out to the side. No movement here, just let the weight of your legs and gravity hold your legs in this position. You want your heels as close to your pelvic floor as you can get them. You can have your arms down by your sides, or I like to put mine on my belly and just feel the inhales and exhales. Great way to check in with yourself that you're breathing deeply. When you're ready, you can place your hands on the outside edges of your thighs. And with an inhale, push your knees together, letting your hands help with that. And we're going to come to our hands and knees, but we're going to get to seated first. So pull your knees to chest and just gently rock side to side, massaging that lower back. And you can come to stillness. And now we're going to come to seated, and we're just going to rock front to back a few times. And then when you want, you can come all the way up to seated. And we're going to come around and come back to our hands and knees. Wrist, elbows, and shoulders are in line. Knees and hips are in line, and we have a nice flat back. And when you're ready with an inhale, send that right leg straight back and point your toes to the wall behind you. If you're comfortable there, you can extend that left arm, thumb the ceiling. Nice deep breaths. And now we're going to do 3 knee to elbows. So every exhale, knee to elbow. Inhale, extend. Exhale, knee to elbow. Inhale, extend. And one more. And when you're ready, you can put that left hand and right knee down. And we're going to go right to the other side. So send that left leg back. And then when you're ready, send that right arm out, thumb the ceiling. Nice deep breaths. And 3 knee to elbows. And then when you're ready with an exhale, put that right hand down and left knee down. And we're going to come up tall on our knees here. If you're sideways on your mat, that's a great guide for you to use. If that left knee's on the edge of the mat, you want that right foot out to the side on the edge of the same mat, so we're in line. Inhale, both arms up overhead, and exhale, fold over that right leg, keeping the shoulders flat against an imaginary wall, and breathing. arms up overhead. And exhale, bring that left hand down to mat, right arm all the way overhead. And you can stay there if you'd like, or lift that left arm. Shoulders are flat against an imaginary wall. And breathe. Use your core here to hold you. Inhale, come up to center. Now with an exhale, we're going to forward fold and bring both hands down. So we're basically in hands and knees with one leg out to the side. And we're going to add a twist here. So inhale that right arm up to sky. Shoulders are flat against an imaginary wall. Nice deep breaths. Exhale, come back down the center. And now tent your fingertips so that you're lifting up just a little bit. And we want to try to come up with our arms overhead without pushing off. And it's a little hard, so you might have to come up onto the tips of your fingers. And then inhale all the way up. Exhale, bring the hands to heart center. And we're going to switch legs. Up nice and tall. Inhale, both arms up overhead. And exhale, fold over that left leg. Shoulders are flat against an imaginary wall. Inhale, both arms up overhead. And exhale, bring that right hand down the mat. Left arm all the way up overhead. You can stay here if you'd like, or lift that right arm. Use your core and keep the shoulders flat against the wall. Nice deep breaths. Inhale, come back up to center. And exhale, forward fold. Place that left or right hand flat on the mat and inhale that left arm up to sky. Exhale, bring that left hand down. We're going to tent the fingers again. And slowly start to lift up until you can get the fingers off the ground. And then inhale all the way up. Exhale, bring the hands to heart center. And we're going to come back and we're going to do a series of side planks. And the first one's going to be supported side plank. And when we do this side plank, if you want to do a full side plank, you can always do that where both legs are all the way back. But I'm going to do the supported side plank. So left hand's in front of face, left knee's in line. Send the right leg back and right arm up to sky. If you want to do the full side plank, both legs will be back. Nice deep breaths. Using your core. You can always, if you're in supported, you can lift one leg. Work on balance and strength. Ooh. If you fall out of it like I just did, come back to it. Exhale, come down to your hands and knees. And we're going to do the other side. So right hand's in front of face. Right knee is in line with that. Send that left leg back and left arm up to sky. And if you want to do the full side plank, you can. Or stay here, or lift that left leg. Work on balance and strength. Exhale we're going to do two other variations. One, we'll start on our left side. So we're going to be on our left hip and our left leg is extended and we're on our left hand. And then once you get that left leg extended, put the right foot in front of the left knee. And when you're ready, inhale everything up. Nice deep breaths. You can look up at that right hand or straight ahead, whatever feels better on your neck. Make sure that right arm's engaged, my fingers are strong, my triceps engaged. And with an exhale, come down. And we're going to do the other side. So you're on the right hip and the outside edge of the right leg. Right hand's down on the mat. If you have, I should have mentioned this on the other side, some people have a bit of a hard time with their wrist in this. You can always do it on your forearm if that feels better. Put that left foot in front of the right knee and inhale everything up. Nice deep breaths. Exhale, come down. And we're going to do one more. So we're going to stay on this side. And now we're going to bend the right leg. Right hand stays down. Left leg stays straight now. So the top leg straight. When I inhale, what I'm going to do is lift my belly and hips forward and put my left arm back, bringing an arch to my body. So we inhale, hips and belly up, and throw that arm behind your head, putting your body into a banana shape. Exhale, come down, and we'll do the other side. So we're on the left hip, left leg is bent and right leg is straight. When you're ready, inhale, hips and belly forward, right arm back, putting that banana shape in the body. Exhale, come down. And we're going to come back to our hands and knees and just take a quick child's pose. So knees are mat width apart, big toes touching, and bring your forehead down to the mat. So when you're ready with an inhale, push yourself back up to hands and knees. And we're going to go to forearm plank from here. And how we get there, this is going to be a little bit of core strength work. We're going to put our forearms down on the mat and our hands down on the mat. Our hips are still nice and high. And when you're ready, step those feet back. And make sure your hips are nice and low. We don't want the hips high here. Engage your core and breathe. Just a few more breaths. And we're going to go to Sphinx pose from here. And how we get there is with an exhale, lower your hips down to the mat. Put the tops of your feet on the mat. And then once they're down, bring the head and chest up for Sphinx pose. Nice little bend in the back. And we're going to go from here to locust pose. And we're going to do locust in a series of steps. So when we're ready, exhale, lower your head and chest down and extend your arms out overhead. When you're ready with an inhale, just lift your left arm. I'm lifting my head so you can hear me better, but keep your head down. Inhale, lift your left arm and right leg. That left arm, we want thumb to ceiling. Exhale, lower down. Inhale, right arm and left leg. Thumb the ceiling. Exhale, lower down. Now when we're ready, just take a few breaths here. We're going to inhale up both arms, both legs, and our head for Superman pose, and then we'll go to locust. So take a few more breaths. Inhale everything up. Use your core to hold you. For locust, you want to bring those arms behind you. Nice deep breaths. Exhale, come down. Place both of your hands in front of your face and they're overlapping each other. Put your forehead down on your palm, on your hands. And then turn your feet so that the inside edge of both feet are resting on the mat for crocodile pose. Just take a few breaths here. And this crocodile pose is a great way to rotate the hips in a way they don't normally go. You can put the tops of your feet back on the mat. And we're going to go back to Sphinx pose from here. So put your forearms and palms down on the mat. Bring that head and chest up. And just stay here for a few breaths. Breathing, making sure the hips and tops of the feet are touching the mat. And the whole leg. We don't want to lift our knees up, so the whole leg has to stay down. And we're going to go from here to forearm plank and do a little more core work. So how we get there is roll the toes and inhale, lift everything up. Nice deep breaths. When you're ready, you can bring your knees down to the mat. And we're just going to take a child's pose, so push all the way back to child's pose. Nice deep breaths. When you're ready with an inhale, we're going to come back up to our hands and knees. And we're going to go back to down dog to get the pigeon pose. So when we're ready, this will be our first down dog of the day. We're just going to roll our toes and gently inhale up to down dog. You can pedal your feet here, bringing some movement to the ankles. We're pushing our chest towards our legs. Maybe inhaling real high on the tiptoes. Exhale, sink those heels down to mat. One more time. Inhale real high up on the tiptoes. Exhale, sink those heels down to mat. Now when we're ready, we're going to inhale our right leg up. And exhale, put your right knee near your right wrist. Send that left leg out far behind you. And you want the right foot coming across your mat the best you can get it. We're straight on the arms here. What's really important is that you're on the top of the left foot, the left shin, and the left knee. And when you're ready with an exhale, just lower that torso down. Try not to reach your head for the ground, so where the back stops, that's where you want to stop. I use two fists on top of each other and that supports my head. What we want to avoid is having the back stop and then reaching our head down. We want it all in a straight line. And we're going to stay here for a little while, relaxing our hip. You might feel this in that right glute. Nice deep breaths. This is a great asana to just warm up a little bit and come into and really just relax. There's no movement. If you feel a lot of discomfort, you can always straighten the arms and come up, go back down, whatever works for you. But for me personally, this is one of my favorite asanas. And today we've opened our hips up a lot, and this is another hip opener. We've also built some strength in the hips. So it's a good combination of building strength and opening up. If we drive in a car or sit down for long periods of time, our hips will become very tight. When you're ready with your next inhale, we're going to push up on our arms. Try to get that back nice and straight. And just stay here for a few breaths. And when we're ready with our next inhale, we're going to go back to down dog. So we're going to roll the left toes and lift that left knee. And then send that right leg back to down dog. Maybe pedal the heels, some knees or feet. Bring some movement to that leg. With our next inhale, send that left leg up to sky. And exhale, put that left knee next to your left wrist. Send that right leg back. And make sure you're on the top of the right foot, the right shin, right knee. Up nice and tall, straight spine. And when you're ready with an exhale, just forward fold into pigeon. And once again, try to avoid reaching your head for the ground. Where your back stops, that's where you want the neck and head to stop. And just support it with a blanket or your hands. If you can come all the way down, that's great. Nice deep breaths. And remember, you don't have to stay down the whole time. If you need little breaks, you can always come up on the arms, straighten the spine, and exhale, come back down. The really important thing is you don't roll onto that left side. You want to make sure you're on the top of the right foot and right kneecap and shin. with your next inhale, you're just going to push up on the arms and have a nice straight back. And when you're ready with your next inhale, we're going to go back to down dog. So roll those right toes, lift that right knee, and step back to down dog. Maybe pedal the feet. Come up on the tiptoes, sink the heels. Just bring some movement to your down dog. And when you're ready, you can come down to your hands and knees. And then we're going to come to seated. And whatever comfortable seated position works for you. Nice straight spine. We're just going to take a few breaths here, breathing deeply. Coming back to our yogic breathing. 3-second inhale for the belly and 4-second inhale for the chest. And remember, when we inhale with the chest, we're not trying to bring the shoulders up. We want the shoulders back to let the chest expand or the lungs expand, side to side, front to back, and top to bottom. Put a slight smile on your face. Focus on your inhales. Maybe count in your head to 7 seconds and slow the breath. And then exhale for 7 seconds. When you're ready, you can blink your eyes open, and we're going to come back to a laying position and get ready for Shavasana. So lay nice and flat on your mat. Have your feet about mat width apart and your toes falling off to the outside edge of your mat. If you'd like your hands down by your sides, you want to palms down or palms up, and have them about 12 to 18 inches off of your hips. Completely relax all the tension in your face. Lighten your jaw. Maybe take your tongue off the roof of your mouth. Put a slight space between your lips. Start to focus on your inhales and exhales. Extending them in duration, trying to match them in length. Relax any tension in your shoulders. With your next exhale, let go of any tension in your hips or glutes, and just completely relax them on your mat. With your next exhale, let go of any tension in your legs, ankles, or feet. For the remainder of Shavasana, let your chest and belly move freely with each inhale and exhale. Just focus on your breath. If thoughts come to your mind, let them float away with the exhale and come back to your breath. Slowly bring awareness back to your body. Maybe wiggle your fingers and toes or roll your wrists and ankles. And when you're ready with your eyes closed, roll onto your left or right side. Shavasana is corpse pose. It's symbolic of leaving behind what we'd like to leave behind in practice and starting our day and life from this point forward. And when you're ready with your eyes closed, push yourself up into a comfortable seated position with Anjali Mudra hands or prayer hands, thumbs on sternum. But have the crown of your head up towards the sky so we can finish class with an Om Shanti. We're going to do the Om Shanti today, and then at the end, because Shanti means peace, after we say the Om Shanti, then we'll just say peace, peace, peace 3 times. So big inhale. You'll probably need an inhale after the Om Shanti and then another inhale for the peace, peace, peace. So big inhale. Om Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Peace, peace, peace. Yoga is a journey, and I'd like to thank you for sharing that journey with me today. The light me honors the light in you. Namaste. Thank you for being here today. I hope you enjoyed the class. I know at the beginning of the class when I said, "Oh, we're probably not gonna stand up at any point," you might have thought, "What?" But today I really wanted to focus on longer asanas, working on the hips and spinal twist, and really just embracing matching breath and movement and a calm, gentle practice that also built a little heat and accomplished a lot of stuff. So I appreciate you being here. If you have any feedback, please let us know. Have a wonderful day. Namaste.